संसारे दावा नललितलोका त्रणय कारुण्य घना घना त्वम् प्राप्तस्य कल्याण गुणानवास्य वन्दे गुरु श्री चरणारविन्दम् महाप्रभु कीर्तन नित्य गीता वादित्रमाद्यान् मनसोरसेना रोमाञ्चिकम्पा शुतरङ्गबाजो वन्दे गुरु श्री चरणारविन्दम् श्रीविग्रहाराधा नित्यनाना शृङ्गार तन्मन्दिरमर्जनादौ युक्तस्य भक्तं जयुञ्जतोऽपि वन्दे गुरु श्री चरणारविन्दम् चतुर्विधा श्री भगवत्प्रसादौ स्वादन्न तृप्तं हरिभक्तसङ्गम् कृत्यैव तृप्तिं भजतौ सदैव वन्दे गुरु श्री चरणारविन्दम् श्रीराधिका माधवयोरपारा माधुर्यलीला गुणरूपनाम्नाम् प्रतीक्षणा स्वधनलोलुपस्य वन्दे गुरु श्री चरणारविन्दम् निकुञ्जयूनो रतिकेलिसीद्यै यायालिभिर्योक्तिरपेक्षणीया तत्रातिदक्षातिवल्लभस्य वन्दे गुरु श्री चरणारविन्दम् साक्षाद्धरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रैर्युक्तस्तथा भाव्यतेव शाब्दे किन्तु प्रभुर्या प्रिय एव तस्य श्रीचरणारविन्दम् यश प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यश प्रसादात् न गति कुतोऽपि ध्यायन्तु वन्तस्य यशस्वी सन्ध्यं वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् संसारदावानरलिदलोका त्रणय कारुण्य घन घनात्वम् प्राप्तस्य कल्याणगुणानवस्य वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Radha Nila Madhav, Radha Nila Madhav, Shri Radhe. Jai Radha Nila Madhav, Radha Nila Madhav, Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshan Chakra. Jaya Sita Ram, Jaya Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram, Jaya Lakshman Hanuman. जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव श्री राधा नील माधव की जय।
Jai Om Shnupada Brahmam Sapartakacharya Shtota Shata Shishmatis Divine Grace Aparachana Vrinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBTPI Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Brahmam Sapartakacharya Shtota Shata Shishmatis Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Premise Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Kili Gauravan Ki Jai. Shri Vrajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Navadvipa Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Purushottam Kshetra Jagnapuri Dham Ki Jai. Shri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Harinama Sankirtana Ki Jai. Nittai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlada Lada Daine. Hiranyakasi Purvakshaha. Shilatanka Nakalaye. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Yato yato yami tato Narsimha. Bahir Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye. Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakasipu Tanubringam Kesavadirta नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशव देवता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय उग्र नरसिंह जय उग्र नरसिंह जय उग्र नरसिंह जय उग्र नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय नरसिंहदेव की जय
कृष्ण प्रियसी नमो नमः। राधा कृष्ण सेवा पाओ ए अभिलाषी। राधा कृष्ण सेवा पाओ ए अभिलाषी। जे तुम्हार शरण लोय तारा वांछा पूर्ण होय। कृपा कोरी कोरो तारे वृंदावन वासी। मुराए विलास विलास कुंजे दियो वास। नयने हेरी बो सदा जुगल रूप राशि। ए निवेदन धर सखीरानुगत करो। सेवा अधिकार दिए करो निज दासी। कृष्ण दास को ये न मोरा होए। श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेम सदा ये न भासी। श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेमे सदा ये न भासी। तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्ण नमो नमः। यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्मत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे। यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्मत्यादिकानि च यानि कानि प्राणश्यन्ते प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे। ब्रह्मत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्राणश्यन्ते pade yani kani cha papani brahmatyadikani cha tani tani pranashanti pradachina pade pade yani kani cha papani brahmatyadikani cha tani tani pranashanti pradachina pade pade Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi. Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani. Nitya Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaur Hari Bol. वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री वृंद्याई तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाई केशव सच्च विष्णु भक्ति प्रते देवी सत्यवताई नमो नमः। श्री वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाई केशव सच्च विष्णु भक्ति प्रते देवी सत्यवताई नमो नमः। श्री वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशव सच्च विष्णु भक्ति प्रते देवी सत्यवताई नमो नमः। वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय।
Vrindavana. My desire also grant me residence in the precious groves of Shiva and Davanatam. Thus, within my wish, I shall always behold the beautiful paths of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower of Karha Danso's virgin. Please give me the privileged devotional service and make me your own maid servant. This very fallen, lowly servant of Krishna prays. May I always swim in the love Shri Radha and Govind. Srimati Tulsi Maharani ki jai. There are 10 offenses in the matter of chanting holy names that should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life propagating holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of the demigods of Lord Shiva or Brahma to be equal to independent name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature pursuing the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glory of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities and strength to chanting the holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna one of the auspiciously chosen activities, offering the Veda fruity activities, karma, kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glorious holy name. 10. To know the complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments even after standing so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success. Krishna Prema. Now let us have most humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just as thy trees who can fulfill to everyone. They are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Cheto Tarpana Marjanam Pavamahadavakni Nirvapanam Shriya Kairava Chantrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam Anandam Putivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamita Sadanam Sarvatamasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadishi Tava Kripa Bhagavam Mamapi Durudevami Disham Yahajani Nanurakaha Trinatapi Sunijena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manatena Kirtaniya Sataharihi Na Thanam Na Janam Na Sundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Jammani Jammanishvare Bhavata Bhaktir Haituki Toyi Ayinanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthitaturi Satisham Vichintaya Nayanam Galadashru Daraya Vatanam Gadgata Rudaya Kira Pulakaya Nichitam Vapurkada Tava Nama Grahane Bhavishati Yuga itam nimishena chakshusha pravisha itam shunya itam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me ashrisha padaratam pinnashtumam atarshanam marmahatam karotu va yatha tatha bhavi tatha tu lampato matprana nathastu sa eva na paraha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Glory to Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all that does accumulate for years and distinguishes fire of conditional life, repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction of humanity at large because it spreads a rays of benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases ocean transcendental bliss and enable us to fully taste the nectar for which always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone grant all benediction of human beings. Thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govind. In these transcendental names you have vested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out kindness enables us to easily approach you by holy name. But I am so unfortunate and have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more taller than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. Only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O son of Mahajananda Krishna, I am an eternal servitor, yet somehow or the other have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me at once Adam and lotus feet. O my Lord, while my eyes bedecked with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant the holy name, while my voice choke up and hairs my body stand end to recitation of your name. O Govinda, feeling your separation comes a moment to be like a great millennium. Tears are flowing from eyes are torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Shri Mangala Aarti prayers ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahakana Ragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuitam Savadutam Parijana Saktam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahakana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pachadya Desha Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Ti Namine Shri Varshabhani Devi Daitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhavin Namaha Madhuryojala Premadya Shrupanuga Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Svarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumistvam Nirtishta Sajana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarabhauma Shri Jagannataya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Svarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakham Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Suratoro Pangor Mama Manda Mater Gati Masarva Swapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vrindarana Kalpadu Madash Shimadra Nagara Singhasanasto Shrimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtari Bi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasa Rasarampi Vamsi Vata Tatastitaha Karsham Venu Swaner Gopir Gopinatha Shriyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Mangala Charnam Prayers Ki Jai Shri Parama Samhita Ki Jai Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadirādya Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satmasuka Paviksha Raksharviteshu Surabhi Rabhi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasa Shatasam Brahmasevyamanam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venong Kavanantam Aravinda Dalaya Daksham Parharvatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kantarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chantaka Lasavana Mara Vamshi Ranang Gadam Panayakeli Kala Vilasam Shamam Tipanga Lalitam Yata Prakasham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalindriya Vriddhimanti Pashanti Panti Karayanti Chiram Chakanti Ananda Chimma Satu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achotam Anadi Mananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durabam Adurabam Atma Bhakta Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu koti shatavassara samprakamyo Vayurathapi manaso munipangavaanam Sopyasti yaprapada simya vichinta tatve Govindamadi purusham tamaham pajami Ekopya sarachayitum jagatanta kotim Ya chakti rasti jagatanta chayaya tantaha Antantarastha paramanu chayantarastham Govindamadi purusham tamaham pajami Yad bhava bhavita diyo manujastateva Samprapya rupa mahimasanayana bhushaha Suktaryam eva nikama patitaistu vanti Govindamadi purusham tamaham pajami Ananda chimera sa patibhavitapis Tapi evan jarupa taya kalapihi Goloka eva nivasati kilatma bhutto Govindamadi purusham tamaham pajami Premanjana churuta bhakti vilochanena Santa sadeva hidayeshu vilokayanti Yam shama sundam achintya guna sarupam Govindam adi purusham tamaham pajami Ramadi murtishu kalanyamena tishtan Nanavatarama bhuvaneshu kintu Krishna swayam samabhava paramapumam yo Govindam adi purusham tamaham pajami Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme Godhead. He has an eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, and he is the prime cause of all causes.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers beautified with the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with the flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending form of Shamasundara is eternally manifest.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, true substantiality, and thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendental figure possesses himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs, and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas but obtainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha. And he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane, extending over thousands of millions of years.
He is an undifferentiated entity as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men who are built in with devotion sing the mantra suktas taught by the Vedas by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveniences, and ornaments.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities in the company of her confidant, Sakis, embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shamasundara, Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in the heart of hearts with the eye of devotion, tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the forms of Rama, Nrsimha, Vamana, etc. as his subjective portions. Bhagavad Gita 7.1 purport. Shrunvatam swakata Krishna punya sravana kirtanaha hridayanta histo hi apadrani vidinoti suhratsatam nasta prayesva abadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैस्तिकी तदा राजास्तमो भावा कामालोभादयाश्च ये चेत एतैरनावेदं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति एवं प्रसन्नमनसो भगवद्भक्तियोगतः भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गस्य जायते विद्यते हृदयग्रन्थेश्चिद्यन्ते सर्वसमस्याः क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि दृष्टा एवात्मनीश्वरे. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes unleavened by devotional service, and understands the signs of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the heart not of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of Asamsayam Samagram, understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth, Personality of Godhead. Bhagavatam, Sri 1.2.17 to 21. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the signs of Krishna. We'll continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 1, Chapter 13, text 32. Tatra sanjayam asinam paprachod manasaha gavalagne gane nastato vruddho hinascha netrayo. Tatra, there, sanjayam, unto Sanjaya, asinam, seated, papracha, he inquired from udvigna manasa, filled with anxiety, gavalgane, the son of Gavalgana, Sanjaya, qua, where is, na, our, tata, uncle, vridha, old, hina cha, and bereft of, netrayo, the eyes. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaj Yudhishthira, full of anxiety, turned to Sanjaya, who was sitting there, and said, O Sanjaya, where is our uncle, who is old and blind? Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, text 33. Ambacha hata putrartha pitravaha qua gatastuhrit api mai akrata prajni hata bandhusa bharyaya asamsamanah samalam gangayam dukkitopatat. Amba, mother, aunt, cha, and hataputra, who had lost all her sons, artha, in a sorry plight, Pitrava, uncle Vidura, qua, where, gata, gone, suhrit, well-wisher, api, whether, mai, unto me, akrita prajni, ungrateful, hata bandhu, one who has lost all his sons, saha, dhritarashtra, bharyaya, with his wife, asamsamanaha, in doubtful mind, samalam, offenses, Gangayam, in the Ganges water, Dukkita, in distressed mind, Apatat, fell down. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Where is my well-wisher, Uncle Vidura, and Mother Gandhari, who is very afflicted due to all her sons' demise? My uncle Dhritarashtra was also very mortified due to the death of all his sons and grandsons. Undoubtedly, I am very ungrateful. Did he therefore take my offences very seriously and, along with his wife, drown himself in the Ganges? Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Pandavas, especially Maharaj Yudhishthira and Arjuna, anticipated the after effects of the battle of Kurukshetra, and therefore Arjuna declined to execute the fighting. The fight was executed by the will of the Lord, but the effects of family agreement, as they had thought of it before, had come to be true. Maharaj Yudhishthira was always conscious of the great plight of his uncle Dhritarashtra and aunt Gandhari, and therefore he took all possible care of them in their old age and aggrieved conditions. When therefore he could not find his uncle and aunt in the palace, naturally his doubts arose, and he conjectured that they had gone down to the water of the Ganges. He thought himself ungrateful because when the Pandavas were fatherless, Maharaj Dhritarashtra had given them all royal families to live, facilities to live. In return, he had killed all Dhritarashtra's sons in the battle of Kurukshetra. As a pious man, Maharaj Yudhishthira took into account all his unavoidable misdeeds, and he never thought of the misdeeds of his uncle and company. Dhritarashtra had suffered the effects of his own misdeeds by the will of the Lord, but Maharaj Yudhishthira was thinking only of his own unavoidable misdeeds. That is the nature of a good man and devotee of the Lord. A devotee never finds faults with others, but tries to find his own and thus rectify them as far as possible. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, Text 34. Pitari uparate pandav sarvanna suhrada sisun arakshatam vyasannataha pitravyakva gata ita. Pitari, upon my father. Uparate, falling down. Pandav, Maharaja Pandu. Sarvan, all. Na, of us. Suhruda, well-wishers. Sishun, small children. Arakshatam, protected. Vyasanataha, from all kinds of dangers. Pitravya, uncles. Qua, where. Gatau, have departed. Ita, from his place. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When my father Pandu fell down and we were all small children, these two uncles gave us protection from all kinds of calamities. They were always our good well-wishers. Alas, where have they gone from here?
Text 35. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11. Chapter 13, Text 35. Sutta uvacha kripaya sneha vaiklavyat suto viraha karshitaha atmeshwaram achakshano akakshano na pratyahati piditaha. Sutta Uvacha, Sutta Goswami said, Kripaya, out of full compassion, Sneha, Vaiklavyat, mental derangement due to profound affection, Sutta Sanjaya, Achakshana, having not seen, Na, did not, Pratyaha, replied, Ati Pidata, being too aggrieved. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, because of compassion and mental agitation, Sanjaya, not having seen his own master, Dhritarashtra, was aggrieved and could not properly reply to Maharaj Yudhishthira. Purport. Sanjaya was the personal assistant of Maharaj Dhritarashtra for a very long time, and thus he had the opportunity to study the life of Dhritarashtra. And when he saw at last that Dhritarashtra had left home without his knowledge, his sorrows had no bound. He was fully compassionate toward Dhritarashtra because in the game of the battle of Kurukshetra, King Dhritarashtra had lost everything, men and money. And at last the king and the queen had to leave home in utter frustration. He studied the situation in his own way because he did not know that the inner vision of Dhritarashtra had been awakened by Vidra, and that therefore he had left home in enthusiastic cheerfulness for a better life after departure from the dark well of home. Unless one is convinced of a better life after renunciation of the present life, one cannot stick to the renounced order of life simply by artificial dress or staying out of the home.
Canto 1, Chapter 13, Text 36. Vimrujya shruni panibhyam विस्तभ्यात्मानमात्मना अजातशत्रुं प्रत्युचे प्रभो पादौ अनुस्मरान् Vimrujya, smearing, Ashruni, tears of the eyes, Phanibhyam, with his hands, Vistabhya, situated, Atmanam, the mind, Atmana, by intelligence, Ajata Shetrum, unto Maharaja Yudhishthira. Pratyuche began to reply, Prabhu, of his master, Padav, feet, Anusmaran, thinking after. Translation. First, he slowly pacified his mind by intelligence, and wiping away his tears and thinking of the feet of his master, Dhritarashtra, he began to reply to Maharaja Yudhishthira. Text 37, Canto 1, Chapter 13. Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya Uvacha Naham Veda Vivasitam Pitrorva Kulanandana Gandharyava Mahabaho Musito Asmi Mahatmavihi. Sanjaya Uvacha, Sanjaya said, No, not Aham, I, Veda, no, Vivasitam, determination. Pitro, of your uncles, Va, your Kulanandana, O descendant of the Kuru dynasty. Gandharya of Gandhari, Va or Mahabaho, O great king. Musita, cheated. Asmi, I have been. Mahatmavi, by those great souls. Translation.
My dear, no, Sujaya,
Sanjaya said,
Sanjay said, my dear
descendant
of the Kuru dynasty, oh, I have no information of the determination of your two uncles and Ganjali, O king, I have been cheated by those great souls.
Purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. That great souls cheat others may be astonishing to know, but it is a fact that great souls cheat others for a great cause. It is said that Lord Krishna also advised Yudhishthira to tell a lie before Dronacharya, and it was also for a great cause. The Lord wanted it, and therefore it was a great cause. Satisfaction of the Lord is a criterion of one who is a bona fide. And the highest perfection of life is to satisfy the Lord by one's occupational duty. That is the verdict of Gita and Bhagavatam. Dhritarashtra and Vidura, followed by Gandhari, did not disclose their determination to Sanjaya, although he was constantly with Dhritarashtra as his personal assistant. Sanjaya never thought that Dhritarashtra could perform any act without consulting him. But Dhritarashtra's going away from home was so confidential that it could not be disclosed even to Sanjaya. Sanatana Goswami also cheated the keeper of the prison house while going away to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And similarly, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami also cheated his priest and left home for good to satisfy the Lord. To satisfy the Lord, anything is good, for it is in relation with absolute truth. We also had the same opportunity to cheat the family members and leave home to engage in the service of Srimad Bhagavatam. Such cheating was necessary for a great cause, and there is no loss for any party in such transcendental fraud.
Text 38. At Jagma Bhagavan Bhagavam Naradaha Sahu Sahatumbarah Pratyutaya Privadyaha Sanu Jo Byarchayan Munim.
Atha, thereafter, Ajagama arrived, Bhagavan, the godly personality, Narada, Sahatumburaha, along with his tumburu, musical instrument, Pratyutaya, having gotten up from their seats, Abhivadya, offering their due obeisances, Aha said, Sanuja, along with younger brothers, Abhya Abhyarchayan, thus while receiving in a proper mood, Munim, the sage.
Translation. While Sanjay was thus speaking, Sri Narada, the powerful devotee of the Lord, appeared on the scene carrying his tumburu. Maharaj Yudhishthira and his brothers received him properly by getting up from their seats and offering obeisances. Purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Devarshi Narada is described herein as Bhagavan due to his being the most confidential devotee of the Lord. The Lord and his very confidential devotees are treated on the same level by those who are actually engaged in the loving service of the Lord. Such confidential devotees of the Lord are very much dear to the Lord because they travel everywhere to preach the glories of the Lord in different capacities and try their utmost to convert the non-devotees of the Lord into devotees in order to bring them to the platform of sanity. Actually, a living being cannot be a non-devotee of the Lord because of his constitutional position. But when one becomes a non-devotee or a non-believer, it is to be understood that the person concerned is not to be in a sound condition of life. The confidential devotees of the Lord treat such illusioned living beings. The confidential devotees of the Lord treat such illusioned human beings, and therefore they are most pleasing in the eyes of the Lord. The Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita that no one is dearer to him than one who actually preaches the glories of the Lord and to convert the non-believers and non-devotees. Such personalities as Narada must be offered all due respects, like those offered to the personality of God himself and Maharaj Yudhishthira, along with his noble brothers, were examples for others in receiving a pure devotee of the Lord like Narada, who had no other business save and except singing the glories of the Lord with his veena, a musical stringed instrument.
Text 39, Canto 1, Chapter 13. Yudhishthira uvacha naham veda gatim pitror bhagavan kva gatavita ambava hata putrarda kva gata cha tapashvini. Yudhishthira uvacha, Maharaja Yudhishthira said, Na, do not. Aham, myself, Veda, know it. Gatim, departure, Pitro, of the uncle. Bhagavan, O godly personality, qua, where. Gatau, gone, ita, from this place. Amba, mother, aunt. Va, either. Hata, putra, bereft of her sons. Ardha, aggrieved, qua, where. Gata, gone, cha, also. Tapaswini, ascetic. Translation.
Maharaja Yudhishthira said, O godly personality, I do not know where my two uncles have gone, nor can I find my ascetic aunt who is grateful and grief-stricken by the loss of all her sons. Maharaja Yudhishthira.
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Maharaja Yudhishthira is a good soul and devotee of the Lord, was always conscious of the great loss of his aunt and her sufferings. As an ascetic is never disturbed by all kinds of sufferings, and that makes him strong and determined on the path of spiritual progress. Queen Gandhari is a typical example of an ascetic because of her marvelous character in many trying situations. She was an ideal woman as mother, wife, and ascetic, and in the history of the world, such character in a woman is really found.
No. Canto 1, Chapter 13, Text 40. Karnadara iva pare Bhagavan paradarshakaha Ata babashe Bhagavan Narado Munisattamaha. Karnadara, captain of the ship. Iva, like apare, in the extensive oceans. Bhagavan, representative of the Lord. Paradarshakaha, one who can give directions to the other side. Ata, thus, Apabhase, began to say, Bhagavan, the godly personality. Naradaha, the great sage Narada. Muni Sattamaha, the greatest among the devotee philosophers. Translation. You are like a captain of a ship in a great ocean, and you can direct us to our destination. Thus addressed the godly personality Devarshi Narada, greatest of the philosopher devotees, began to speak. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. There are different types of philosophers, and the greatest of all of them are those who have seen the personality of Godhead and have surrendered themselves in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Among all such pure devotees of the Lord, Devarshi Narada is the chief. Therefore, he has been described herein as the greatest of all philosopher devotees. Unless one has become a sufficiently learned philosopher by hearing the Vedanta philosophy from a bona fide spiritual master, one cannot be a learned philosopher devotee. One must be very faithful, learned, and renounced, otherwise, one cannot be a pure devotee. A pure devotee of the Lord can give us direction towards the other end of the science. Devarsi Narada used to visit the place of Maharaja Yudhishthira because the Pandavas were all pure devotees of the Lord, and Devarshi was always ready to give them good counsel whenever needed.
I want to go before faith, right before faith.
Canto 1, Chapter 13, Text 41.
I'll read it, but can I read the one after? And then I'll also read Spirit's verse. Narada uvaja ma kanchana suchorajan yadeshvara vasam jagat loka sapala yasya me yasyeme vahant balim ishitu sa sasamyu nakti bhutani sa eva viyun nakti cha.
Narada Uvacha, Narada said, Ma, never. Kanchana, by all means. Sucha, do you lament? Rajan, O king, yet because Ishvara Vasam, under the control of the Supreme Lord, Jagat, world, Loka, all living being, Sa Falaha, including their leaders, Yasya, whose, Ime, all these, Vahanti, do bear, Balim, means of worship, Isitu, for being protected, Sa, he, Samyu, Nakti, gets together, Bhutani, all living beings, Sa, he, Eva, also, Viyu, Nakti, disperses, Cha, and
Shri Narada said, O pious king, I do not lament for anyone, for everyone is under the control of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, all living beings and their leaders carry on worship to be well protected. It is He only who brings them together and disperses them. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Every living being, either in this material world or in the spiritual world, is under the control of the Supreme Lord. The personality of Godhead personality of Godhead. Beginning from Brahmaji, the leader of this universe, down to the insignificant ant, all are abiding by the order of the Supreme Lord. Thus, the constitutional position of the living being is subordination under the control of the Lord. The foolish living being, especially man, artificially rebels against the law of the Supreme and thus becomes chastised as an asura or lawbreaker. A living being is placed in a particular position by the order of the Supreme Lord, and he is again shifted from that place by the order of the Supreme Lord or his authorized agents, Brahma, Shiva, Indra, or Chandra. Maharaj Yudhishthira, or in modern history, Napoleon, Akbar, Alexander, Gandhi, Subhash, Nehru, all are servants of the Lord, and they are placed in and removed from their respective positions by the supreme will of the Lord. None of them is independent. Even though such men are leaders, rebels so as not to recognize the supremacy of the Lord. They are put under still more rigorous laws and the material world by different miseries. Only the foolish, more rigorous laws of the material world by different miseries. Only the foolish man therefore says that there is no God. Maharaj Yudhishthira was being convinced of this naked truth because he was greatly overwhelmed by the sudden departure of his old uncles and aunt. Maharaj Dhritarashtra was placed in that position according to his past deeds. He had already suffered or enjoyed the benefits accrued to him in the past, but due to his good luck, somehow or other, he had a good younger brother, Vidra, and by his instruction he left to achieve salvation by closing all accounts in the material world. Ordinarily, one cannot change the course of one's happiness and distress by plan. By plan. Everyone has to accept them as they come under the subtle arrangement of Kala, or invincible time. There is no use trying to counteract them. The best thing is, therefore, that one should endeavor to achieve salvation. And this prerogative is given only to man because of his developed condition of mental activities and intelligence. Only for man are there different Vedic instructions for attainment and salvation during the human form of existence. One who misuses this opportunity of advanced intelligence is verily condemned and put into different types of miseries, either in this present life or in the future. That is the way the Supreme controls everyone.
Canto 1, Chapter 13, Text 42. Yada gavo nasi prota tantyam baddasyatamabhi vaktantyam namabir baddha vahanti balimisuti. Yatha, as much as, gava, cow, nasi, by the nose, protaha, strung, tantyam, by the thread, baddha, bound by, cha, also, damabihi, by ropes, vak tantyam, in the network of Vedic hymns, namabihi, by nomenclature, baddha, conditioned, vahanti, carrion, balim, orders, isitu, for being controlled by the Supreme Lord. Translation.
Translation. As a player sets up and
As a cow.
as a cow bound through the nose by a long rope is conditioned, so also human beings are bound by different Vedic injunctions and are conditioned to obey the orders of the Supreme.
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Every living being, whether a man or an animal or a bird, thinks that he is free by himself, but actually no one is free from the severe laws of the Lord. The laws of the Lord are severe because they cannot be disobeyed by in any way. In any circumstance, the man-made laws may be evaded by cunning outlaws, but in the codes of the supreme lawmaker, there is no the slightest
Possibility of neglecting the laws.
a slight change in the course of God law can bring supreme or about a massive danger to be faced by the lawbreaker. Such laws of the Supreme are generally known as the codes of religion under different conditions, but the principle of religion everywhere is one and the same, namely obey the order of the Supreme God, the codes of religion. That is the condition of material existence. All living beings in the material world have taken up a risk of conditioned life by their own selection and are thus entrapped by the loss of material nature, and only way to get out of the entanglement is to agree to obey the Supreme, but it's instead of becoming free from the clutches of Maya or illusion, foolish human beings become bound up by different nomenclatures, being designated as Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, Hindus, Madhvantras, Indians, Europeans, Americans, Chinese, and many others, and thus they carry out the order of the Supreme Person, no, the Supreme Lord, under the inflames or inflames
influence
influence of respective scriptural
or legislative injunctions. The statutory laws of the state are imperfect imitation or replicas of religious codes. The secular state or the godless state allows
allows the citizens to break the laws of the God, but restricts them from disobeying the laws of the slave state. The result is that the people in general suffer more by breaking the laws of God than by obeying the imperfect laws made by man. Every man is imperfect by constitution under
conditions
under conditions of material existence, and there is not the least possibility that even is the most materially advanced man can enact perfect legislation. On the other hand, there is no such imperfection in the laws of God is
if leaders are educated in the laws of God, there is no necessity of a makeshift legislative council of aimless men. There is necessity of change in the makeshift laws of man, but there is no change in the God-made laws because they are made perfect by the all-perfect personality of Godhead.
the cause of the religion, scriptural induction are made by liberated representatives of God in different conditions of living, and by carrying out the orders of the Lord, the conditioned living being gradually become free from the clutches the material existence, the factual position of the living being is over that he is the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord in his liberated state he renders service to the Lord in the transcendental love, and thus enjoys a life of full freedom, even sometimes on an equal level with the Lord, of sometimes more than the Lord Lord, but in the conditioned material world, every living being wants to be the Lord of other living beings, and thus by the illusion of Maya, this mentality of lording it over becomes a cause of further extension of conditional life. So in the material world, the living being is still more conditioned until he surrenders into the Lord by revering his original state of an eternal servitorship. That is the last instruction of the Bhagavad Gita, and all other recognized scriptures of the world.
Canto 1, Chapter 13, Text 43. Yata krido pashkaranam samyoga vigamaviha ichaya kriti dutu syatam tadaivese chaya nrunam. Yata, as much as. Krida upaskaranam, playthings. Samyoga, union. Vigamao, disunion. Iha, in this world. Ichaya, by the will of. Kriditaha, just to play a part. Satam, takes place. Tada, so also. Eva, certainly. Isha, the Supreme Lord. Icha, yeah, by the will of. Dranam, of the human beings. Translation. As a player sets up and disperses his playthings according to his own sweet will, so the supreme will of the Lord brings men together and separates them. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We must know for certain that the particular position in which we are now set up is an arrangement of the supreme will in terms of our own acts in the past. The Supreme Lord is present as a localized Paramatma in the heart of every living being. As it is said in the Bhagavad Gita 13.23, and therefore He knows everything of our activities in every stage of our lives. He rewards the reactions of our actions by placing us in some particular place. A rich man gets his son born with a silver spoon in his mouth. But the child who came as a rich man's son deserved such a place, and therefore he is placed there by the will of the Lord. And at a particular moment, when the child has to be removed from that place, he is also carried by the will of the Supreme, even if the child or the father does not wish to be separated from the happy relation. The same thing happens in the case of a poor man also. Neither rich man nor poor man has any control over such meetings or separations of living beings. The example of a player and his plaything should not be misunderstood. One may argue that since the Lord is bound to avoid the reactionary results of our own action, the example of a player cannot be applied. But it is not so. We must always remember that the Lord is supreme will, and He is not bound by any law. Generally, the law of karma is that one is awarded the result of one's own action. But in special cases, by the will of the Lord, such resultant actions are changed also. But this change can be effected by the will of the Lord only, and no other. Therefore, the example of the player cited in this verse is quite appropriate. For the Supreme will is absolutely free to do whatever he likes. And because he is all perfect, there is no mistake in any of his actions or reaction. These changes of resultant actions are especially rendered by the Lord when a pure devotee is involved. It is assured in the Bhagavad Gita 9.32-31 that the Lord saves a pure devotee who has surrendered unto him without reservation from all sorts of reactions of sin. And there is no doubt about this. There are hundreds of examples of reaction changed by the Lord in the history of the world. If the Lord is able to change the reactions of one's past deeds, then certainly he is not himself bound by any action or reaction of his own deeds. He is perfect and transcendental to all laws.
Stop this.
Last one. Okay, if you don't read, I'll read. Text 44, Canto 1, Chapter 13. Yanmanyase dhruvam lokam adhruvam va na chobhayam sarvata nahi sochaiste snehad anyatra mohajat. Yet, even though manyase, you think, dhruvam, absolute truth, lokam, persons, adhruvam, non-reality, va, either, na, or not, cha, also, ubhayam, or bothwise, sarvata, in all circumstances, na, never, he, certainly, sochayaha, subject for lamentation, te, they, snehat, due to affection, anyatra, or otherwise, mohajat, due to bewilderment. Translation: O King, in all circumstances, whether you consider the soul to be an eternal principle, or the material body to be perishable, or everything exists in the or everything to exist in the impersonal absolute truth, or everything to be an inexplicable combination of matter and spirit, feelings of separation are due only to illusory affection and nothing more. The purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
The actual fact is that every living being is an individual part and parcel of the Supreme Being, and his constitutional position is subordinate cooperative service, either in his conditional material existence or in his liberated position of full knowledge and eternity. The living entity is eternally under the control of the Supreme Lord, but those who are not conversant with factual knowledge put forward many speculative propositions about the real position of the living entity. It is admitted, however, by all schools of philosophy that that the living being is eternal, and that the covering body of the five material elements is perishable and temporary. The eternal living entity transmigrates from one material body to another by the law of karma. And material bodies are perishable by their fundamental structures. Therefore, there is nothing to believe in the merging of the spirits. To be lamented. In the case of the souls being transferred into another body, or the material bodies perishing at a certain stage, there are others also who believe in the merging of the spirit soul in the Supreme Spirit when it is uncovered by the material engagement. And therefore, and there are others also who do not daily experience believe in the existence of spirit soul, but believe in the intangible matter. In our daily experience, we find so many transformations of matter from one form to another, but we do not lament such changing features. In either of the above cases, the force of divine energy is uncheckable. No one has any hand on it, and thus there is no cause of grief.
In either of the cases, the force of divine energy is uncheckable. No one has any hand in it, and thus there is no cause of grief. Today we read until Canto 1, Chapter 13, Text 44. We will continue reading tomorrow. Gandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Guru Cherana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Shri Guru Cherana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Pandamuyi Savadana Mate, Pandamuyi Savadana Mate, Jahara Prasadeva E Baba Turiya Jai, Jai Hara Prasadi Bai, E Baba Turiya Jai, Krishna Prapti Hoy Jai Hote, Krishna Prapti Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitte Te Koriya Kya, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitte Te Koriya Kya, Arana Koriha Mani Ashara. Shri Guru Cherani Rati Aise Uttama Gati, Shri Guru Cherani Rati Aise Uttama Gati, Jai Prasadi Pure Sarva Asha, Jai Ekshudan Diro Jai, Janme Janme Prabhu Say, Divya Gyan Hruday Prakashito, Prema Bhakti Jaha Hote Avidya Vinasha Jate, Videgay Jahara Charito, Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Jainara Bandhu, Lokana Loke Rajivana, Yaha Prabhu Kuro Doya Deha More Bhada Chaya, Ebijas Gusuk Tribhuvana, Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana, Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nityai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nityai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nityai Gaura Hari Bol. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the one by which we can continue devotion service. Hold on to the lotus feet, we have on the right. By His grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from His lotus mouth. Attachment to His lotus feet is a perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From Him, ecstatic prema emanates. By Him, ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of His character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. We take the shelter of your lotus feet. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.